Alright, you're looking at me right now and you're saying, what on earth are you doing? What's with the blue tie? What's with the red hat? Well, I'll tell you this all later, but it's up for you to guess in the comments. Let me tell you something crazy, the Purim story in a nutshell. Alright, we're going way back in time, not giving the exact dates, but this is like a long time ago, a couple thousand years for sure. A guy named Achashverosh rules over the entire civilized world pretty much at the time, 127 provinces, crazy stuff. And to celebrate all this in the third year of his reign, he throws a party, a crazy party for a whole 180 days. Wacky guy. And after that, a 7-day party. During this party, he's like, yo, let me show off my wife to the people. Calls his wife Vashti to come. Vashti doesn't want to come. She got pimples. She grew up pale. Wild stuff. And he's like, what should I do to my wife Vashti? She didn't come to the party. Haman, he's like, well, going by a different name at the time, one of the king's advisors says, why don't you show a lesson and have her hanged, have her killed to show a lesson for all the other wives in the provinces. And he says, that's a great idea. He wakes up the next morning with a smacking headache, and Achashverosh is like, shucks, what did I do? Oh shucks, I got rid of my wife. We gotta figure this out. They're like, let's throw a beauty contest and you'll get yourself a new wife. And so they do, and for a long time, a couple of years, they throw a beauty contest, all the maidens coming around until finally this girl by the name of Esther, her real name was Hadassah, she was actually a Jew, a niece of Mordecai, the leader of the Jewish people at the time, was chosen to be the king's queen. This guy Haman can't stand the Jewish people, so he goes over to Achashverosh the king, he tells him, listen, this is crazy nation, let's get rid of them. Achashverosh is like, okay, whatever, gives him the signet ring, he's like, alright, great. He sends out a decree to all the places, to all the lands, that on the 14th day of the month of Adar, boom, we're wiping out this nation. In the meantime, also, he keeps on seeing this guy Mordecai, who's not bowing down to him, and it drives him crazy. And so, as this is going on, Mordecai obviously finds out about this decree, and the Jewish people are fasting, praying. Mordecai gathers like 22,000 students, or 18,000 students, crazy numbers of prayer as they do repentance for this sin that they had done by going to this king's feast, which was obviously a not very kosher atmosphere, and much more. And after this, Mordecai tells Esther, by the way, why don't you go and beseech on behalf of us to the king? Ask the king to annul this decree. Esther says, you crazy, I haven't been to him in 30 days. Mordecai says, listen, this might be the entire reason why you went. Esther's like, if I go and he doesn't stick out his scepter to me, boom, finito, nada, I'm done, I'm gone. Esther says, fine. Fast for 3 days, pray, I will fast as well, and I will go. And on the third day, she goes in to the king, all frail and weak, and the king, in a miraculous turn of events, extends his scepter and says, what can I do for you? My dear queen, up to half of my kingdom is yours. She says, you know what? I'm inviting you and Haman to come to a party. Come to our party, I'll have a feast, us three. You see, and at that party, Achashverosh again asks Esther, so Nu, what's going on? What do you want? Up to half of my kingdom. And Esther says, you know what? I'm inviting you both to another party. Haman is having the best day ever. He's been at this party, he's invited to another party, he leaves, he starts to walk home, and again, he passes Mordecai, who does not bow down to him. He comes home, he tells his wife, listen, I just had an absolute party, I'm invited to another party, but this does not come to closeness, the aggravation I have every time I see Mordecai not bow down to me. So, his wife says, you know what? Let's hang the guy 50 cubits high in the air. What a crazy idea. That's right, she says, hang the man 50 amot high. Crazy stuff. So Haman's gonna go and get permission from the king for this, but in the meantime, the major part of the story takes place. That's right, chapter 6 begins. The king couldn't sleep. And he calls one of his advisors to come and read him some books. So you start reading different things which are taking place, you know, the things they dot down every time something goes crazy and happens in the city of Shushan. Now what happens? You see, they do this story about how Mordecai had the king's life. Crazy story. These two guys, Big Son and Seresh, speaking some weird language. Mordecai understood them, and he ended up saving the king's life. So the king says, wait, did we ever reward this guy, Mordecai? They're like, actually no. Wait, who's outside? What, you know who was outside? It's Haman. He's coming to get permission to tell the king, by the way, I want to kill this Mordecai guy and hang him. He comes inside and right away, Achashverosh asks him, Haman, what should I give to the man who I'd like to reward? And Haman thinks to himself, he obviously wants to reward me because he was high up on a horse, you know that guy? And he says, you know what, put him on a horse, the king's favorite horse, and with the beautiful garments of the king, and have some noblemen take him throughout the streets of the city, saying this is what is done to the man who the king loves to reward. Fine, Achashverosh says, that sounds great. Go do all of what you said, and don't lack any of that, to the man, Mordecai the Jew. Haman's upset, but he knows he's got to do it. He goes and he tries to find Mordecai. He finally finds Mordecai. He gets the guy. He gets him ready. He brings him and he takes him through the streets of the city, saying this is what is done to the man who the king loves to reward. After this, he comes home all stinky, all upset. And at that moment, the advisors of the king come and say, by the way, you got a party to go to. It's the next day. Let's go. You have a party you got to get to. He comes to this party, and this is where it gets real juicy. At this party, Achashverosh asks Esther again, what is it? Up to half of my kingdom. And this is the second party. Esther says, you know what? There's a man who's trying to wipe out my people. You see, up until this point, Achashverosh did not know that Esther was a Jew. Her name Esther means hidden. She hid that fact from him. Achashverosh says, who is this man? And Esther says, it is this man Haman, the wicked. Achashverosh fumes up in anger, walks outside to the garden to let off some steam. At this moment, Haman tries to beseech and tell Esther to let him know, beseech on my behalf. I didn't know. If I would have known you were a Jew, I wouldn't have done this. And no. Achashverosh comes back in. He gets even more upset at Haman. And one of the advisors of the king, who they say was actually an advisor, but in the body was the spirit of Elijah the prophet, says, you know what? You see that gallows 50 amos high that he plans on hanging Mordecai the Jew? Why don't we hang him there? And so they did. They hanged, however you want to say it, Haman the wicked. But the story's not over yet because there was a decree that was going to happen, that the Jewish people would be attacked on the 13th day of the month of Adar. After this, Achashverosh tells Mordecai, you know what, you're taking the place of Haman, you're getting his house, you're getting his entire level of importance in the kingdom, and they say, we got to take care of this decree. You see, when a signet ring is put on a decree, I can't revert that. What we could do is send out another lesson, another message to the people, letting them know, by the way, defend yourself, get ready, because it's about to get crazy. And so they did. On the 13th day of the month of Adar, the Jewish people fought back, and on the 14th day in certain places. And in commemoration of this incredible thing, we have a story where we read the Megillah. We have the story of Purim. We give out baskets of food, gifts of charity to the poor, and we commemorate this miracle and crazy course of events, how God saved the Jewish people. Now, you're looking at me and you're saying, whoa, what's with the hat and what's with the tie? Tell me what you think.